Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. This morning we'll be chatting about a brand new book series. Well, it's the third installment of this series by author Phillip Simon. He joins us on set. It's the Petra series. Good morning, Phillip.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. All right, so tell me what inspired you to start writing in the first place?
Well, probably about 10 years ago, I decided that I want to be an author. You know, you're reading a lot and, you know, you're thinking, hey, I could do this. But a lot of times I tried, but it's only after I spent some time living in Japan. I went with the JET program, you know, teaching English. And while I was there, I had a lot of experiences. And then when I came back to Trinidad, I was taking my wife to Toko Beach. And on the way there, I noticed the pui trees on the side of the road. And they reminded me so much of the cherry blossoms of Japan that, you know, it sparked something. I said, yes, this is it. This is the one. So that's what inspired me to write my first book in the series, Petra and the Pui.
Petra and the Pui was the first one in the series, right?
Yes.
But you mentioned that, you know, your time spent in Japan had an influence on you being able to be an author.
Yes.
Tell me how that works, because you went to be a teacher.
Yes.
Right.
So what happened is that, you know, you're living there, and a lot of the times you're noticing different things in culture, art, and a lot of stuff. Yes, it's very different from Trinidad, the Japanese experience, but a lot of stuff actually parallels Trinidad and Tobago.
Really?
Yeah. So like the cherry blossoms, for example, reminded me of the Pui. Then there are a lot of pan players in Japan, actually. They love steel pan and soca and a lot of Caribbean music. So a lot of times I went to like this Latin American and Caribbean music festival that they have in Tokyo every year in Yoyogi Park. And so experiencing and seeing these sort of things really sparked something in me. So I wanted to show the differences and similarities in Trinidad and Tobago and Japan, to show that not only that, you know, we have a lot of similarities, but Trinidad does have a lot of stuff that we could market internationally as well, that we take for granted.
So is it that in that first one you compare the Pui to the cherry blossoms?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the first one, Petra, who is obviously the
protagonist.
The protagonist, yes. You know, so she loves the Pui trees of Trinidad and Tobago, and she climbs them a lot. But then she notices the cherry blossoms of Japan on her vlog. And, you know, sometimes as Trinidadians, we say, well, you know, this international thing better than this thing that we have here in Trinidad. So she wants to see the Puis for herself, and the cherry blossoms for herself, and go to Japan because that's better. But then when she gets there, she does love and appreciate the cherry blossom, but it gives her new and invigorated appreciation for what we have here, the Pui.
Phillip, be honest with me. Petra is your inner child.
Yeah. She is. I used to climb those Pui all the time, and I dreamed about going to Japan to see the cherry blossoms. You know, you're watching Samurai X, and you're watching all these Kenshi, and you see the cherry blossom petals floating in the breeze, you know. So it's like, boy, I want to go there. But when I got there, they were beautiful. But I said, you know, this reminds me a lot of the Pui.
It's so interesting, how it takes you going away from home to be able to appreciate the things that you have and take for granted at home.
No, it really does. I even remember I took one of my Japanese friends. Actually, she's a pan player. Her name is Tomoko. That's who inspired the second book.
Right?
Yeah, and she wanted to come to Trinidad. And when she got here, I took her to Tobago. And I remember going to Pigeon Point Beach. And while I was in Japan, I went to a lot of beaches, even in Thailand and different places, Hawaii. And I noticed that Pigeon Point Beach, to me, is on the same level as these international beaches that everyone rushes to go to. So that as well also helped, you know, really hammer the point home that we really do have something special here in Trinidad.
Tell me about the Pan Man's daughter.
Right. So after her adventures in Japan, Petra comes back to Trinidad, all excited to tell all her classmates about her adventure. But before she could get a chance to do that, there's this new Japanese exchange student in the school who completely steals her thunder. So before she gets a chance to say anything, no one cares, because there's this new Japanese girl and she has this interest in food, and she's speaking in Japanese and wearing on this uniform. And shockingly, Petra could play pan, but this girl could also play pan as well. Yeah.
So they have a little clash.
Yeah, they have a clash. They have some tension there.
All right. So I understand that you would have released these books. The Petra and the Pui would have been 2020.
Yes.
The Pan Man's Daughter would have been 2022.
Right.
And now we have a brand new one, the Coloring and Activity book. Is this a combination of the both books, or?
Yes, it's a combination of the both books, as well as a little bit of hint of what might be coming in the third book as well. Yes.
Okay. All right. This is very interesting. Congratulations on these 3 books. I think a job well done.
Thanks so much.
Because we could always do more children's books in Trinidad and Tobago, telling us about ourselves and projecting ourselves onto us. So
yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
I applaud you for doing that. But what can we find in the coloring book then?
Right. So in the coloring book, there are amazing, really beautiful illustrations done by the talented Lendell Lara. Every time I do interviews, I always must mention him.
Well, I see she named all over the book on them, right? And I say to myself, but who is Lendell Lara? And tell me how you guys linked up in the first place.
Right. So Lendell Lara, actually, I remember when I did a few drafts of my first book, that morning I got up to go to work, and you're sitting down and you're scrolling your phone trying to get ready for the day. And I noticed, as I scrolled, I saw an illustration of this little girl washing wares in a kitchen. And the instant I saw it, it just took me back to when I was small, washing wares. I don't know, it just spoke to me. So I said, this has to be the person to do my illustrations. So I contacted him, and luckily he was available, and he's very, very fantastic to work with. We work very closely on all of these books, and the collaboration is phenomenal, yeah. He does a fantastic job.
Yeah, how difficult is it to decide and settle on what the image is going to look like? Do you just say, well, this is the name of the book, take a read of the book, see how you're inspired, and then go from there?
No, not exactly. So how it happens is that I write the book, I send it to him, we storyboard it. He sends me back what he thinks, and then we bounce the ideas back and forth. Sometimes we have a little clash as well too, because I remember I wanted the Pui in Petra and the Pui to be pink.
Right.
But he thought it should be yellow. So we had, so things like that happen. But
I see, like, you win.
Well, yeah. But we go back and forth all of the time, but it really does help to sharpen the book,
Yeah, of course. And I know that's something that people take for granted, is having that collaboration and having that disagreement can lead to a better outcome, because it might end up being better than both of you even wanted individually.
Exactly, yes.
All right, where do we get the book?
Right, so all three of these books are available in excellent stores and many branches. You could get them, well, the first two at RIK, but the coloring book is not available there yet. You could get them at Media and Variety Emporium in Chaguanas, Scribbles and Quills in Chaguanas. You could get it at Paper Based in Normandy. You could get it on Amazon. And yeah, so it's available at so many bookstores. My Reflections, Children's Bookstore, online, Bold Print, Children's Bookstore. So you just look around, and Petra is everywhere.
Petra is everywhere. Congratulations to you again, Phillip. I think this is a job well done. If you were to give advice to someone wanting to become an author, what advice would you give them?
Just start writing. So what I would tell you to do is, every night or every week, or even if it's every month, you sit down, and even if it's one line, you make sure and you write that one line of your books. Because what happens is that sometimes you think it's difficult and whatnot, and it is, but once you dedicate yourself and you keep going, just piece by piece, eventually it's like pushing a snowball up a hill, and then when it reaches to the top and you roll it down, it just builds a momentum and goes for itself. You'd be surprised. So I say, don't stop. Even if it's once a month, you sit and you write something.
How important is it to develop your characters?
It's the most important thing, in my opinion. The characters is what make the story. The characters is who the reader connects to. Exactly. So I spend a lot of time, morning, nighttime, driving, thinking about Petra. What would she like? What would she do next? What would she do in this scenario or that one? And even the side characters as well.
I'm very curious. This is my last question, I promise.
No problem.
Why did you choose to go with a young girl rather than a young boy? If you're saying that you related to the story as it being your inner child.
That's an interesting question. Well, the reason why I decided to go with a young girl is that, I mean, girls and boys both are excitable, but I feel I don't know, I feel like I could have expressed myself more with this scenario with a girl. I don't know. That's the inspiration I got, I guess. Yeah. But I do have intentions to make books about male characters being the protagonists for sure. It's coming down the pipelines.
And I'm waiting patiently for it, because we definitely could do it some more of those. We need some more inspiration for young men in Trinidad and Tobago.
I completely agree.
Certain.
Yeah.
All right, Phillip, thank you very much. You are an inspiration to young men, though, so congratulations and keep up the great work.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, we look forward to more coming from you. Ladies and gentlemen, Phillip Simon, you can get the Petra book series at almost any bookstore in Trinidad and Tobago. Just go ask for it, and you can get at least the first two.
Yes.
The third one, you got to talk to Phillip or Amazon, yeah?
Yeah, no, that one is available in bookstores as well.
All right, it's an excellent stores and paper based, and in some of the other bookstores as well. All right, nice, fantastic. We take a quick break and come back with more Inside the Now Morning Show. Please stick around and enjoy the rest of it.
This that song make I wake up the whole nation. I don't play that song make I shake up the whole life.